one of the eroded limestone hills. These bare limestone hills are a fairly common site for the Tepe mountains today. Surface fund showed that there were a separate section in the Karahan Tepe, in the mount. The first there is in the middle the western section with structures curved into the bedrock. The second one is on the east side, on the left, is the terrace with the large round structures, also with T-shaped pillars which are not excavated yet. And third, the section where pillars are not seen on the surface and domestic finds are concentrated. This is the section where there are probably residential or shelters type structures. I'm talking about on the left and the plain. And finally, the quarry places from which the pillars are obtained on the top of the pictures. And here on the surface, it is possible to see lime places where these T-shaped pillars were removed, and they were extracted from the limestone plateau in one piece. You see on the middle, one of the example. It is also still visible in many places today. For example, this one is the almost 6 meter high, and which had not been removed from its place, its quarry location. And the excavation in Karahan Tepe started in 2019. In the first year we worked very limited time, only 2 weeks, but during the pandemic we had a chance to work there more than 4 months. Also this year in 2024, because of the Congress, we are still continuing the excavation. It means again 4 months. It is at the moment it's not really possible to make a detailed chronological stratigraphy yet, but the structures where we can follow the transition from circular to the rectangular planet structure were unearthed. We only have 4 radiocarbon dates. The oldest one is 9,400 BC, and the newest is 8,200 BC. Here you see both round and rectangular structures. On the right side, you see the round one, and in the middle, rectangular one. It means it was excavated in phases, roughly dated to the PPNA and to PPMB. In the earliest phase, we think that some of these structures are part of the complex. Here you see the large building in the middle, AD, and other associated structures around it is marked with the white circles. These central buildings, I mean the main building in the communal building complexes, building AD, was built in cutting limestone bedrock or on the hillside. Its floor consists of very well leveled bedrock. Consecutive walls define the outer boundary of the building. Its inner diameter is 23 meters, which is the same size as in the structure D Anlage, the building in Göbektepe. The earliest phase of this AD structures is about 27 meter in diameter. Below you can see also on the right side you can see also the excavation stages of the central building structures AD. It was not visible at this time and getting visible more, and we had the section in the middle, both sides, to understand if there is a backfill or not. I will show you some of the pictures. And we are sure now, because of this section, this building was deliberately buried. For the burying process, pillars and human and animal statues were thrown into the building. Although it's a sloping topography, the filling process is done from all sides of the circular structures. You can follow it on the section. Here we see the innermost wall, hence the final phase of the building in the yellow colored, and the next one, also in the middle, you see also pillars. They are 18 pillars in various sizes are placed. There are also two large pillars in the middle. Their height is about 6 meters. There are also benches along the wall. They continue along the wall, let us say. The western half was made of bedrock on the right side here, while the other half, large flat stones or horizontal pillars were used. This on the roof. Here we see some benches on top. Pillars removed from the older structure or previous phases of the structures were laid horizontally and used as a benches. One of them has a leopard depictions in front, actually many of them. There are also depictions of leopard skin on both on the pillars or on benches. This one is top left here. We think that there was a sitting place or an altar on the upper steps of this benches. I'm talking about the very small vertical columns. If you look at in the middle, there was a horizontal stones were broken in their original places. For only here did we find stone plates, stone vessels, and the composite statues in situ position and pointing to an offering. You see here this place after the restoration. They are also in the exhibition in the Şanlıurfa Museum. And this is the composite statues carrying a man carrying an animal on his back. There are also other finds that deal with this theme. I will show it you later. Here you see other faces with blue and green color and the other building details. It's pointed out in the below. And for example, just opposite of the possible altar, the place where many statues were thrown. There are also places that were opened on the floor and closed again. Like this, pink colored. We also know this from Göbekli Tepe or Sayburç or other places in the Tigris Basin. There are also small pools dug into the bedrock in two places, colored with blue. There. One of them is associated with the adjacent structure. I will address later, this one. And I want to also show you some of the finds that are thrown inside of the building. Some were in situ position, but most were found to have been discarded during the burial of the structures. For example, you see again a person carrying a leopard on his back. This animal here, this leopard, depicted as alive. This is the find that requires us to re-examine the human-animal relationship comparing with today's. Another findings from same building, and a human head appears to be a part of statue was broken, but it looks like a part of the sculptures or the mask. This double-headed human sculpture also reflect a dualist style, maybe male and female, or younger, or others. A pillar with arms and hands on its sides, and two foxes in the opposite in position in front of the spider on his chest, or his ribs. Other human sculptures, again in the sitting position, all of them, again follows are especially emphasized. We also found many animal sculptures, part of the animal sculptures. Here you see some of them leopards. Also we found some foxes, birds, also found in the same building. They all are depicted as a scarabary and an attacking position. We also found in this building some stone vessels made by chloride, and you see some of them, and some of them are also very well elaborately decorated. And there are also some human heads, and you see other example. For example, this one on the left side, it was also broken. So it was a part of the sculptures. A two-pole on this head means it was also a large sculpture part. The building complex I mentioned before consists of three buildings for now. This one is the AA, AB, and AD building, and AD is the center, and second one structures adjacent one is the AB there. Now it's more visible. And this one is the second one, AB building, is 8 by 6 meters in size, and was completely curved into the bedrock, about 3 meters. And it has an oval form. We know that this structure was also deliberately buried with a series of sequential procedures. At the bottom, a reddish soil without archaeological material, I mean this very sterile soil, was poured approximately 10 centimeters. Later, a stony filling, you can see here, stony filling was filled to cover pillars. You can follow it on the drawing. And in the meantime, stones were placed on the pillars to reveal their location. I think it will be better to show you. There are the pillars, and the stones are placed on top of them. And at the end, the whole areas was covered with a mostly large flat stones. This is the top left. There's also a human head on the long side of the building, shaped from bedrock. Probably the neck and start from the head and until the entrance. He has a triangular beard under his chin, and in this case we can say that the depicts probably a man. Opposite this human head, there are 10 erect phallus-shaped pillars. These pillars were curved again from bedrock, so their location were determined while the building was being planned. The direction of the steps make us to think that this building was entered from the large building and exited from the other end. It's better to see here. It is the entrance, and there are other steps here on the opposite side. It will be the exit part. We don't know the function of this building, this structure, but if you enter a structure from one place and the exit from the other end, this brings to mind the completion of the process. At least we can think that the person who leaves this building, this structure, is now a different person than the person who entered. Another detail that will give us the idea about the function of the building is the serpentine-like channel on the eastern sides. This one here. The liquid that enters the building when you pour a liquid into these channels, the snake-like channels, it flows into the place, into the room. The liquid that enters the building reaches adjacent large building through small channels on the left, at the other end, and it's poured into the large pool in the central building. It is very difficult to make a definitive comment. However, in the structure, its phallic symbolism is remarkable, and it may be related to the adolescent rite of passage, as is known very well in ethnographical examples. There is another structures belongs to the communal building. This is AA, located next to the structure AB. Probably this one is the unfinished. Here too, there is a bench that goes along the wall. Yeah. And the snake and the fox motifs can be seen in front of these benches. Another building complex, the part of the building complex, is notable for its interior design. There are fireplaces inside of the building, 2 fireplaces here, this one, other one here, and there are other locations. They're used as a fireplaces again, here, and ovens, and bench with many gazelle horns along here. Yeah, on the right side, right left. And in the room, a large number of stone vessels, leads, stone plates, vessels, and beads buried again in a red sterile soil. Also, we found in the same context some leopard bones, wolf, chin, and some vulture and fox bones together in this context. And we also found some small animal figurines in this context. We also found some white cattle skull, also one leopard sculpture, but it's not visible here in these pictures. These chlorid vessels are all decorated with geometric or animal motifs on the whole surface. One example you see on the left side. To the east of the central building, we found also round, relatively small structures almost surrounding this central building, built side by side, and they are also subterranean base. You can follow it, it's the central building, you can follow the small structures on the below. One of the characteristics of these small structures, they continued large grinding stones, mortars, and earth as used dwellings. But the benches or pillars are also continued to use in domestic buildings together with the communal building. This was also excavated this year. Its floor is made by bedrock. Again, 4 pillars placed in symmetrically, and most probably in an oven on the sides. Also, we saw some of the building has a stone pavements. One of these stone has an animal motif on the left side. It was found exactly here. This one. One of the buildings also is accessed by a stair. There, 6 or 7 steps. Show us this is the subterranean dwellings. In the next phase, the last phase also, you know this from Göbekli Tepe phase 2. In this case, we also found instead of round building, we found some rectangular building on the right side. Here you see the rectangular structures. Again, there are also 2 steps benches along the wall. You can follow it on the top left. And 4 pillars again placed symmetrically. In the corner here, and south is the building. This corner here, there is a human face embedded in the wall like a mask. This also, these buildings, also the rectangular buildings, are also deliberately destroyed and backfilled. Here too, you can see depictions of hands on the pillars. Hands, arms on the pillar shows they represent the human body. And in front there is a triangular decoration are seen on his in the neck. On the uppermost part of the hill, we see that that rectangular structure with the more realistic corner. In this period, we can again mention large monumental buildings in the center and the rectangular buildings around them. This is the central building. Half of them is already excavated. You can see this day after. And the other rooms along this central large building. Its dimension is, this central building is around 15 by 15 meters and dug again into the bedrock. I'm talking this one here. This time in this stage, the benches are much wider than all the faces. You see. And some of them has 2 steps or more, 3 steps. It's like a theater. And we also found in a corner human sculptures. It's 2.45 meters high, together with vulture sculptures. This man is in the sitting position and symbolize his ribs are emphasized, probably symbolize the dead, while the seated and erect position probably symbolize life. In conclusion, very short, I'd like to underline few issues that the new research in Şanlıurfa and Karahan Tepe pointed out to us. Sediments are located where there is a limestone bedrock suitable for construction of monumental structures and pillars. We can also talk domestic structures placed around the special structures along with them. In other words, we can discuss a settlement with special structures in it. Göbektepe was not religious center, but the cultural zone where special buildings are an important component of the settlement. Karahan Tepe also shows us that the different type of special structures, maybe they have a multifunction, but most probably not temples. In addition to their many functions, I prefer to describe these places as a place where very powerful rituals are performed. But there may be spaces among them that were used more specific purpose or simply for rituals, just like a building with phallus-shaped pillars in early phases. I believe that the source of motivation for rituals is not a religion, but the relationship that people establish with the nature, entity, and adaptation of to the newly established way of life. And special building complexes are indicative to complex societies. It can be said that these structures are one of the important inputs that hold the society together in the construction of the new way of life. Eleni pointed out, I have to stop. Thank you so much.